Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bell to Bells, your women's wrestling wire. I'm Warren Hayes, and thank you for joining us today on our YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast app as we bring you an interview in our series of talks with wrestlers who made it on the 2020 PWI Women's Top 100 list. And today I am thrilled to be joined by none other than Priscilla Kelly. How are you doing, Priscilla?
I'm great. The weather is getting cooler and life is slowly creeping into normalcy, I
Are
think. So things are
are,
great.
are, are you are you a fall type of person? Is that what I'm understanding? Sweater weather?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I mean, Atlanta gets a really short fall. I mean, it goes from just being really hot to
Mm-hmm.
really small fall and then a pretty cold winter. So, I don't get very much of it, but yeah, fall is the best season.
Well, Priscilla, thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Let's get right to it. Yeah, like you over the past few years, you've always wrestled in many different promotions worldwide on top of that, but this year it's been a little quiet, right, for the independent circuit. How have you been staying busy over the past couple of months?
It's definitely been hard because everybody, I think, as far as all my friends that I've talked to, this was supposed to be the year of just like an abundance of good bookings and exciting matches. And I mean, I had stuff that was booked all the way to
Mm.
December with bookings. I mean, I was booked up for the whole year way back in April, and everything just is gone. And it's definitely hard because I've never taken more than 2 weeks off of wrestling in my whole career. This is the longest I've ever been not wrestling, and it's really weird not being able to not going to the airport. Like I went to the airport for the first time like a couple weeks ago, and it was the most foreign feeling thing. And it's like at one point I had it down to like a science of like how I pack, how I get to the airport, what I do at the airport, how I travel. And now it's like I have to start over and relearn like my routine. But I've been spending most of my time I've been training and staying in the gym, and then like of course like working on music because that's like been a passion of mine. And I've actually picked up painting,
Oh,
so I've tried to be as artistic as possible and spending a lot of time with my little brother too. So
well, that's great. And as far as painting goes, how do you classify yourself? Like an abstract artist, or maybe more? Are we going down Dada style or surreal impressionism, or or am I reading too much into it?
well, I so I mean I paint a lot of roses because like roses are like
Ah, there you
a
go.
thing.
Okay.
Well, that was terrible viewing of my tattoo, but I paint a lot of roses, but I also paint like nice like black and white like water mountain landscape things. Like I'm not very good, but it's fun to do, and it's just like a nice relaxing way to be productive without you know being stressed,
Sure.
or it's relaxing, it's
Just
nice.
the
And
outlet.
yeah, for sure. And I don't know, it's just like when you have so much free time on your hands, um especially when everything was really shut down there for a few
Hmm.
months, you kind of have to find things to do. And I mean, I love video games more than anybody else, but as I've gotten older, if I spend too much time on video games, I feel like I'm not doing anything
Hmm.
productive, and I feel like I'm wasting my day. And I know that sounds like really, um, I don't know, maybe like uptight, but it's just for me, like if I'm not doing something productive, I just feel like I'm
Sure.
not, I feel like I'm wasting my time. And so I've like, instead of playing video games like I would have done when I was maybe like 16 or so, I've just been like trying to like, well, today I'll go for a hike, or today I'll do this, and today I'll do that. So,
Well, like you said, you have to diversify when you have so much time on your hands, because otherwise, yeah, it's just like, oh, this is all I've been doing, regardless. And well, despite the fact that you had that it's not as busy this year, you've ranked this year on the top 100, which wasn't the case last year. So, nonetheless, this has been a year of accomplishments. How do you feel about being ranked this year?
it's exciting because I've been wrestling for it'll be 6 years in this coming March, and to my knowledge, I've never been a part of um, any major wrestling lists as far as like top whatever. So it's exciting, and it's definitely it's surprising for a year that was supposed to be so productive that ended up being a year of everybody take a rest. It is surprising to see who's gonna make a top 100 or top this or top that, because there's not a whole lot to base off of here. And I mean, I just had my first match back in wrestling a month ago, and I wrestled Chris Dickinson at Beyond. But other than that, the last thing I did was in
Mm-hmm.
March. So it's definitely one of those things where, like, it was a year where I don't think anybody expected to get anything out of it.
And yet here you are. We're talking today, and you have had some accomplishments. Last April, you won the first wrestling Uptown VFW Championship in a fatal four-way. You defeated the champion Darren Corbin, Eric Cannon, and Orange Cassidy as well. And you also had your first defense as well this year, another four-way: Lainey Luck, Karen Noya, and Elena Black. I mean, those are a lot of names there that you're going through, Priscilla. How do you feel about it, champ?
Yeah, it's like, first of all, WrestlePalooza, and I cannot say it enough. Like, First Wrestling, WrestlePalooza is my favorite show in the world to do. Like, I love those fans, and I love Eric Cannon with all my soul. But so winning the title at WrestlePalooza was so exhilarating and so fun. And then, like I said, like you said, I've only defended it one time, and it was one of those things where, like, I was excited to defend this title through the whole year, and then WrestlePalooza during the summer, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to do that. I've only defended it once, so I'm kind of bummed. But, like, as soon as wrestling does come back, that's like one of the first things I'm excited to do, is get back to First Wrestling and start defending the title and start going through opponents. But yeah, no, like, First Wrestling is like I feel like First Wrestling is like my other home promotion on the other side of the world.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
Um, Last fall, I mean, yeah, again, last fall, well, we've seen you on TV a bit this year as well. You've popped up on our television sets a little more. Earlier this year, we saw the AEW Dark match against Britt Baker on the Jericho Cruise. Man, it's just wild to think in this context that there was a cruise. Like, it's, the whole situation has changed. But nonetheless, you did have that match. You were on MLW TV as well, as the Spider Lady against Zeta Zhang. I mean, the TV opportunities are popping up for you, Priscilla. I know probably around these times, as we were mentioning, probably not much talk going around. But have you been meeting with more promotions that have television deals? Do you think we might be seeing you more on TV? You know.
I think COVID definitely messed up a lot of things, obviously, but it's one of those things where you can never really predict, like, where you're going to go next. You can never really tell what's going to happen, where you're going to go, who you're going to work for. Wrestling really does just kind of come out of nowhere, and you have to just be ready for whatever comes along at any given moment. And that's kind of how I am right now. I'm just ready for anything that comes along at any given moment. And I mean, like, I've got relationships in various companies, and various companies, they know of me. It's just a matter of letting COVID pass,
Sure.
letting things get back to normal, and then just being ready for whatever comes my way.
Yeah, well, there you go. And COVID, right, it's just already wrestling is pretty unpredictable when it comes to who goes where and stuff like that. COVID is quite the monkey wrench on top of that as well. And speaking of TV matches, right? When at the time that we're recording this, because the interview will air later, a few weeks after we're recording here, but at the time that we're recording, in a couple of days, you're going to be challenging for the NWA World Women's Championship, against Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is a formidable opponent, and the NWA title has it has the history. It has quite a lineage. How do you feel about how do you feel about that match and challenging for that title?
It's definitely so. Right now, because there hasn't been very much to show for my career this year, it's an opportunity to remind everybody exactly what I'm capable of, how much work I put into my craft. And winning that NWA title would just be the hello, here I am. I have not stopped. And I just want to show everybody that for the last 6 months, I haven't just been sitting here not doing anything, gaining weight, being sad. And don't get me wrong, I've kind of been sad here and there, but I've still been pushing myself to actually continue to work, even though it's been discouraging at times. It's been depressing at times, and not only that, but financially, it's been very difficult. But
Sure.
I've continued to continue working, and I've got a ring in my basement, so I train. I'm constantly trying to keep everything sharp. It was hard for a while because you start feeling like, well, what if I get ring rust? But it's just a matter of staying consistent and staying dedicated, staying working, and winning that NWA title proves that I have been working just as consistently as if wrestling never ended.
And I mean, it's a sign of something as well, right? Of what you've built for yourself, because despite the fact that everyone's been gone for months, matches start popping back up. And look at you. Here you are, Priscilla Kelly, challenging for one of the oldest wrestling titles in the business. I mean, kudos to you. I think, the effort that you do put in, I think that's a testament right there.
Right. And I think when wrestling does return, it's a lot of people were kind of throwing around the idea that when wrestling does return, it's only going to be the people that truly, truly love wrestling. Because it was so discouraging, and it's hard to stay relevant when there's not constant shows every weekend.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people might get discouraged. And I think the people that do return to wrestling are going to be the true ride or die people that are really passionate about the business. And I'm constantly just trying to step up in the next level every time I step in the ring to show people that this is my passion and this is what I'm working hard at and this is what I eat, breathe, live. Like, this is my life. And when you win something as something with so much meaning and so much history like the NWA Championship, it's almost like to me it's a certain amount of honor that you take on when you
Sure.
when you win something like that. And you just have to think back of all the women that have held that title and all the women that have defended the title. And it's just one of those things where, like, through all the heartache, the depression, the hard times that this year has brought on, winning the NWA Women's Championship, it's something that I need for my soul to feel like I have actually been accomplishing something and I've been working towards something. So it just, it's one of those things where it would mean the world to me.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Maybe at this point we'll have definitely seen the result, but best of luck.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, I just want to circle back to when you were on and when you debuted on MLW as the Spider Lady. The Spider Lady thing. It calls back that infamous WWF match. Where Fabulous Moolah dressed up in the Spider Lady gimmick to defeat Wendy Richter in controversial fashion in 1985. Were you trying to channel that? Was that part of what you were trying to bring forward?
Yeah, it was definitely like a sort of a sneaky little ploy to throw off my opponent, and
Sure. It
definitely
worked.
was. Yeah, no, it definitely was. It's like if people know that I'm the one coming to the ring, then maybe they have a little bit of something they expect, or maybe they know what to look out for, what to protect themselves against. But when the Spider Lady's coming to the ring and she's moving and she's acting like someone you've never seen before, then you don't know what the hell's going on. Right. So it's all about the mind games. Always.
It's all about the mind games. I liked it. It brought back some fond memories. I'll tell you that much. Listen, Priscilla, you've got back into wrestling. You've got some good stuff coming up. Like you said, March 2021 is going to be your 6-year anniversary in the business. What's next? What's coming? What are you excited about for Priscilla Kelly moving forward?
Really, a lot of people always ask me, where do you want to go, or what do you want to do, or what's your goal? And it's never just like this one thing that I'm working toward. It's more just having matches that feed my soul and feed my what would you say, like, my, I guess, like, just it feeds like my desire to like wrestle.
Sure.
And it's the hard fought matches where, you know, you lose yourself in the moment, you can't hear anything, and it all just goes tunnel vision and you're just lost in the match. And those are the kind of matches that I want to continue to have for the course of the rest of the year and 2021 and so forth. I just want to have matches that fuel my desire to wrestle. And I just want to wrestle overseas some more. I want to get to Australia. I'd like to go back to Japan. I'd like to go back to England. And it's really just doing it and seeing places that I never in a million years thought I was going to see. And inevitably, when it comes to a financial standpoint, all I've ever wanted financially out of wrestling is to make enough money to take care of my little brother, put him up in a good college one day, and show him an awesome life.
Oh, that's fantastic. I hope you could do that for him. That's an amazing goal. So what's the best place if we want to make sure that we don't miss anything related to Priscilla Kelly? Where should we follow you? Where should we go on the internet to make sure we don't miss a thing?
I'm really active on Instagram and Twitter. I never use Facebook, but if you want, you can follow me there. My Twitter is just Priscilla Kelly _, and my Instagram is the Priscilla Kelly. I also have a YouTube, but like I said, I never use that either, but maybe one day. But yeah, usually all my bookings, signings, everything you should know about me is Twitter and Instagram.
That's fantastic. So make sure you follow Priscilla Kelly. I can't thank you enough. Congratulations on ranking this year.
Yeah, thank you so much for the interview.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone for watching as well. Do consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Bell to Bells. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Priscilla, and we'll see you next time.